What's up, guys? I'm Nell.
And I'm KJ, and we're the hosts of Millennial Talk. Okay, everyone, so we're back with one of our co-stars, Courtney.
So today we're going to be talking about hazing. So we're getting close to like back to school time for all you college folk, and you don't even have to be in college anymore, really, to join like a Greek organization because you have like post-grad chapters. Is that they're called chapters? So we're going to talk about hazing.
But then it doesn't just have to be Greek. It also is sporting.
Oh yeah, true.
Or within your own friend groups.
Very true. Very true. So hazing, I'm pretty sure at this point, 2018. Hazing is something that all Greek organizations or sports teams or whatever have pretty much like, zero tolerance, hard no, don't do. But just because the rules say that or the higher ups say that doesn't mean that it's actually, that it's not happening at the lower level.
I feel like it just happens more in secret now.
Yeah.
It always happened in secrecy.
Exactly.
But I think like now more it's like
and I think
you
it's
really got to be discreet about it.
It's interesting because I think that because that is the understanding. Like before, it was like it happened everywhere. Everybody was doing it. Now, like you're saying, like more now it's still happening, but it's happening in secret. But it's so interesting from my perspective because as someone that is a part of a Greek organization, people always either ask us if we were hazed or if we hazed, and we tell them no because we really don't.
They think we're lying.
Yeah, they think we're lying. So it's like, dang, like I almost wish we were hazing so that I could have some cool stories to tell.
But I feel like the only reason they think that is because nowadays when people find out about hazing is when it hit the extreme and like somebody died or somebody's in a hospital. So now everybody's just like, oh, because you guys didn't experience that, but y'all probably got through it.
But do you ever wish that we were hazed?
Heck no.
I don't know. Part of me does kind of wish that we were hazed, low-key. Because I just feel like, one, it gives you cool stories to tell. And two, it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's a rite of passage. Yeah, it's like a rite of passage. It's tradition. So it's like, I feel like I didn't get that full Greek experience because I wasn't hazed.
If it was a mild hazing, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But if it was somebody
I
hit
don't
me,
mean like
I'm fighting
and,
you.
like pouring acid in my eyes, that kind of
beating
stuff.
But nowadays, considering, and I hope this doesn't get taken wrong, but considering the fact that we joined a mixed sorority versus a black sorority, sometimes they're considered, people see them do the more extreme stuff, like the craziness and all this stuff. I remember somebody told, and it wasn't any of our sisters that said it, it was somebody that told me, like a Greek organization had the girls do lesbian stuff. Like, I'm not gay. I'm not doing that. And what does gay stuff mean? Like, I don't. Why? Like, why?
Well, I mean, there were some people in our sorority that I don't think
people who do that joke for fun.
True, but I was gonna say I think the other thing I think with our sorority, and there are probably others that did the same thing. It wasn't like formalized hazing where it's like the older sisters got together and like set a plan for what they were going to do to the incoming class. It was kind of like within certain groups. So if you were friends with certain older sisters, then you probably did get hazed. And if you were friends with other people, then they weren't doing that kind of stuff. Because there were certain groups that did get. I don't even know if hazing is the right word to use.
It's not hazing. It's like mild play.
Yeah, it's like I guess because they were like new pledges or new what do we call them, PNMs, whatever. Yeah. Because they were that, and it was like the older sisters telling them to do these things or coercing them to do these things. From the outside perspective, it does kind of look like hazing, but like I said, it wasn't like formalized hazing.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten really soft in this new day and age because like the term hazing has been thrown around so like frequently now and so easily because it'll say we're all friends and Courtney's the new friend and we want her to bring it in. So we're going to say, you know what, we're going to leave Courtney out of this trip because she's not like in there like that. And it's like, oh, that's hazing. And it's just like, I don't really think that's hazing.
I agree with you to a certain extent because
I
knew.
know what that piece is for. I think I know what it's for, but like.
Wait, let me say this one thing and then we'll figure it out. I knew that we became too soft when they took out the pacer test. I knew.
I hated that pacer test.
I knew we became soft.
I was killed.
I was like, y'all too soft on these kids. Y'all too soft on them.
I did great at the pacer test.
I wish I was a kid.
That was abuse.
No pacer test. I'd have got an A in gym. I was getting like C's and B's.
I never understood how people got C's in gym. I never got anything less than
I
an
hate
A.
People say
gym.
I had to do stepping and I sucked at it. That's why I almost got
I
a
remember
C
they
in
used to give
gym.
us the pedometers and everything.
I'd rather take
Right.
physics than take gym, bro.
You're crazy. Wow.
I took that.
I love gym. So I'm thinking that term is just like being thrown around so loosely when like I think it's strictly for. I think it should be strictly for like when when these Greek life groups use it to induct a new member. And I think one thing that I did notice and one thing that I don't agree with is that it kind of got so far down the line to where people were hazing people to get into their fraternity and sororities without knowing why. And with each sorority and fraternity, I know there's always like you have to know the history behind all these different things. But when the act is being done, I think they kind of lose track of like we're doing this because of our history. But instead of doing that, they're doing I'm hitting you because I got hit this hard. And it hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you. And it's not about that. It's about the meaning behind it. And I think that's what people have to, like, start doing because hazing has been going on for a long time. And there has been plenty of people who've been hazed who didn't end up in the hospital. And I think that's where people are taking it too far, to where they're beating people so badly to where they're ending up in the hospital. And that's where it comes into where it's just like, I'm doing it because I was hurt, and I'm hitting you back.
And I think that also goes into the definition of what hazing is, because I feel like, and I'm not saying that I know what the Webster dictionary definition is for hazing, but in my opinion, I feel like hazing it's not just the beating. It could be like making you do things that are, that you either don't want to do, that aren't safe or whatever like that, whether it be like drinking more than you should be drinking or drinking underage and stuff like that. Or, doing sexual things that, are inappropriate.
I feel like at
So
first it was to
many-
build character, and now it's turning into a whole different thing. It's not building
It's
character.
for entertainment. It's to embarrass you. It's
Yeah.
to, give themselves something to laugh at or something to talk about. But I feel like the other part to the definition of hazing is having them do something that they have to do. Like, there's a difference between pulling a prank on someone and embarrassing them or getting a laugh out of it, and then telling them that, like, if you don't do this, you're not getting in.
Yeah.
I think that is where the real hazing comes into play, because otherwise it's just a prank or a joke, or it's just, your friends being mean to you. But when it becomes this thing that's standing in the way from you getting in, that's when it becomes
No,
like
but when they haze
hazing.
you and then don't let you in, that's even crazier.
One thing that I've heard was hazing it also kind of puts you in your most vulnerable state, and it kind of starts you off fresh, because when you're going into anything, you're not going to show everybody your full self. You're going to give them a certain percentage because you're still guarded. And hazing, I guess, it gives them that you pretty much tears all those walls down, and it shows them who you are and
how strong you
Yeah.
are, what you can handle.
and I think at that point, like, I know people who they then share their stories of like what happened with them, and it kind of brings them together and actually makes them like brothers for life and sisters for life, because they have that connection now. It was like, it sucks that the connection has to be that they got beat together, but it's just like, this is what our connection was. And although we tore you down as a brotherhood, as a sisterhood, we're all going to build each other up. So I think just finding, not in support of this, but finding the right balance of doing it is very important.
See, I think that the way that you explained it is the way that it should be, where it's like you're being broken down to your most vulnerable point, because now these people are seeing you in such a vulnerable state that it's like you don't feel like you have to hide from them, because they've already seen all the stuff that you could possibly try to hide. And like you said, the idea that we break you down to build you back up, and now we have built this bond and we're stronger because of it. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
But I think what it
nowadays-
is now is it's more like it's not that we're bonded because we've been broken down together and built ourselves back up together. It's more of we're bonded because we have all these secrets that we can't tell anybody about. We have all these inside jokes and stuff
bonded out
like
of
that.
fear.
Yeah, you're bonded out of like deceit and secrets and lies and hiding versus being bonded because you're strong and all that kind of stuff.
And that feels like people got
even
dirt on you now because it's all this stuff.
Yeah, you're
that
bonded
do.
because I'm forced to be bonded to you because if I break off, then you might expose me.
It's just like
It's like
it
blackmail.
happens in sports too, just like in 13 Reasons Why. With all the sexual acts that they did in the little clubhouse, it was like that was the state between them. But then when things got rough, people were ready to out each other, and it's like that.
And that's not a bond.
Exactly, not at all. It's not a bond because if it was a bond, they would have. First off, they would have like, this is wrong. We shouldn't be doing this to bond. It happened in so many different organizations. And it's not just fraternities, sororities, Greek life. It happens in sports. It happens in different clubs and organizations. It happens in so many different things, just in different aspects.
I think at the end of the day, if you are bonded through hazing or something, you should be bonded over something that you're proud of.
Yes.
That if somebody were to tell this story, you'd be like, yes, I overcame that or whatever. Not something that you're afraid for people to find out
And
about.
I didn't overcome it by myself.
Right.
That's
Or if you
very
get like
important.
super defensive about it, then I feel like that wasn't the type of hazing you should have gone through.
Like if it's something that you feel like you have to hide, that's not, like if you guys are hiding it together, you're keeping the secret together, that's not a bond. That's y'all being forced because if one person lets go, it's all coming out.
Yeah, definitely.
So with back to school being just around the corner, just forewarning students that may be thinking about joining a sports organization or a Greek organization, or I'm sure there are other types of organizations where this happens in, but just be careful and just know.
Careful and cautious.
Yeah,
and make sure it's for you.
Yeah, make sure that you're doing this. So here's the thing. That's the other thing too, is that people will join Greek organizations.
For the wrong reasons.
Yeah, because their parents are legacies. Oh my gosh, that is probably the single most thing that pisses me off when people say they want to join a specific organization is because their legacy. And I'm like, dude, you need to join the organization that's going to benefit you, not the one that benefited your mom. You're not your mom.
Exactly.
No, but what irritates me is the form of legacy. Because everybody be saying, oh, that's her sister. That's not a legacy. That's her cousin. That's not a legacy. It is only parents. That's it. Do not think you're a legacy if you're a cousin.
That still makes me so mad when they're like, oh, I want to be an AKA, or I want to be a whatever. I want to be a Kappa because my dad was, or because my mom was. And it's like, are you your mom?
My whole family is AKA, and I'm not an AKA.
Yeah, it's like you need to do. Here's the thing. Here's what I've come to the conclusion of after being in a Greek organization for as many years as I've been in it. In my opinion, it is not the Greek organization that matters. It is where that Greek organization is located. So if you are a AKA, the AKAs at Towson University are going to be different than the AKAs at Drexel University, are going to be different than the AKAs at
Howard.
Southern California.
Anything in the South,
Like
period.
every school's groups are different, and that's what it took me a while to understand, that it's like, because for a long time, AKAs that I knew kind of rubbed me the wrong way, especially the older ones. They kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But the ones at our school were so cool. And if all the other AKAs were like that, then I probably wouldn't have had this bias towards them. So it came down to, and just like even our sorority, like, you know, there were people, like I would say the older sisters
I rock with them.
were so cool. But then
Rock
like
with
the
them.
newer ones, it's like, y'all are like, you know what I mean?
And don't
With
take
other
offense,
yeah,
but
it's not to be, it's just, it's
some of y'all.
different. It's different. So it's like, I joined the group that I joined because of the people that were there. Had I been at a different school, would I have still joined the same sorority? Probably not, right. So it's like, you can't just base it off of the name of the organization or the colors or whatever. At the end of the day, all Greek organizations stand for the same thing. Brotherhood or sisterhood, whether you're boy or girl.
Yeah.
Scholarship,
Community.
and philanthropy.
Yep.
They're all stand for the same thing.
And then coming from a person who was never going to join a Greek organization, never even crossed my path. I only came to the events because of my roommate. And then I ended up liking it because of the sisterhood. Let it be known, I was never going to join a Greek organization because I was afraid of hazing. I was like, I will never have somebody put their hands on me because I will fight. Like, it's not a joke. Color purple all my life. You know, like, I was
All
not.
my life
I had to fight.
You just have to get to know the people. Like, I would say that if you're a freshman, even though I joined as a freshman, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to somebody else.
I joined as a sophomore.
Yeah, I would recommend getting to know the people in the organization before you join it, to know if those are the kind of people that you want to be bonded to and be associated with. Because going in as a freshman, you don't know these older people. But once you've been there for a year or two, you get to hear the reputations, you get to see them in action, and you can decide for yourself whether these are people that you want to be
Do your
associated with.
research.
Yeah. Don't
Talk
try to
to
rush into
people.
I'm
something.
about to say my
Talk
big
to
was the
people
main
who are
reason
in
why
the
I did it.
organization. Talk to people who used to be in the organization.
And you need to talk to the ones that are at your school, because if you
Yes.
talk to somebody from a different school, it's going to be different wherever
Exactly.
they
Completely
are.
different.
Because like one of our sisters had left and went to a different school with different, and she was like,
And
I ain't
she
like
didn't
them,
like it.
and she came right back. So like it's had things happen.
But this is a good talk about hazing
Yeah.
and the different types of hazing and what it means. So I think we did a pretty good job in like touching on everything, and I actually learned some new stuff tonight too. So yeah, it was pretty great.
Be safe out there, guys.
Please
Be
do.
safe.
And if you guys have some stories that you're allowed to tell, like because we know that you can't say certain things.
Shoot,
But
say
if
whatever you
you-
want to say.
No, but I
I mean, if it's going to get you killed, then maybe don't say that.
that's
But,
not like
freedom
it's some
of speech,
things.
you feel me?
Because some moms,
Can't say.
But if you can say it, give us a shout
Why are
out.
you looking
Say
like
it.
that?
All right, guys. So please give it a thumbs up if you like this video.
I'm trying. Comment down below if you are interested in joining sororities and fraternities or other Greek organizations. Maybe they're music ones, academic ones, maybe they're sports teams, whatever. If you have fears or if you have experiences, you have stories, comment all that down below.
Don't forget to subscribe.
If you have any questions, I'm sorry. If you have any questions for us,
Oh yeah, because
please,
we all have experiences at sports teams,
Yes.
Greek organizations. We all have been through it, and we have friends that have
we
been
can
through
definitely
it.
answer
so-
some questions.
For
While we
sure.
said it's different from school to school, we can still give you our experiences and share our stories as well. Bye, guys.